In this video, I'm going to talk about 2 books that completely changed my life. All right. When I was heavy, I struggled with anxiety. I actually struggled with anxiety my entire life. But when I was heavy, I used food to cope and numb that anxiety. When I lost 130 pounds and I stopped using food to cope, my anxiety came on stronger than it had ever come on before. And it kept amping up until the last year, 2020. Wow, my anxiety was at its height. I started watching YouTube, Kyle as well, always struggled with anxiety. When he was heavy, he did the same thing, used food to cope. Anxiety hit its height this year with mine. We started watching some YouTubers who do self-help, like Owen Cook and Aaron Doughty, and we discovered these 2 books. The first one is called The Power of Now, and it's by this cute little mole man, Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle. I'm not sure exactly how you say it. This book was the first one. I ordered it on Amazon as soon as they said it, read it. It's called The Power of Now. So basically it's about, most people live their life stuck in their head, like me and Kyle with their anxiety. And usually when you're in your head, you're either in the past or in the future. You're never in the present, the now. So this book kind of guides you along and sort of teaches you how to get out of your head and be in the present moment. Because when you're stuck in your head and you're worried about the past or you're worried about the future, you miss all the moments that you should be living in the now. And what's really cool about this book, what it's done for me is when I'm stuck in my anxiety in my head, I'll remember about being present. And I'll remember the cute little mole man saying, be here, be alert, go to where you are and go in your body. So basically you can like focus on your hands and focus on feeling the energy and the life in your hands or your feet. And then you start becoming aware. Wow, I'm standing in the kitchen. I can hear the sound of the fan. I can hear the dryer. You start becoming alert to everything around you and actually living in this moment instead of up here in your head. And anytime that I start getting stuck in anxiety, I remember The Power of Now, or I start reading it, and it completely brings me back to where I am and pulls me out of my head.
Before you read a passage from that, I just want to say one of the biggest like kind of light bulb moments for me and Nicole from The Power of Now, that what we learned from Eckhart Tolle is you are not your thoughts.
Yes.
So we all as humans are taught and believe that the thoughts and the voices going like this in your head is actually you. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't say that, but thank you for bringing that up. Yes, that's the major thing that he talks about in the very beginning, is that he was struggling with a lot of stuff and he realized that his head, his mind, and the actual who he is were 2 completely separate things. So when you're in the present, you're actually being the real you, which is the awareness of everything around you and the awareness of your thoughts. And he basically helps you realize you are not what's in your head. You are not your mind and you're not your body. You're bigger than that. You're what's internal, your love, your peace, your calm, your presence. You're not the past, you're not the future, and you're not what's in there.
You're actually the aware observer behind your thoughts.
Yes.
You are the watcher of your thoughts. Your mind is creating thoughts, not you.
Thoughts are just, he calls them like they're thought forms. They're not you. So that really helps when I'm anxious and I remember, wait a minute, I'm not the whatever my anxiety is telling me to do. Clean the house, do the list of errands, focus on the future or feel guilty about things from the past or whatever, then I remember, wait a minute, that actually isn't me. I'm not my thoughts. And it really helps you let go of the anxiety, even if it's just for a few moments. And he teaches you in the book how to observe your thoughts. And there's one thing that he said is that pretend you're like on a park bench in a park and you're watching dogs go past you. If you pretend that your thoughts are the dogs, you don't chase every dog that you see walking by. You just watch them walk by and then they're gone and then you see another dog. Pretend your thoughts are like that. Pretend you're on a park bench and your thoughts are going by kind of like dogs or clouds in a sky.
Yeah, the real you is on the park bench. The thoughts are the dogs passing.
The thoughts are the things that are not you that just pass by, and then if you let them, they'll dissipate. But if you hold on to them, then they consume your entire day and your entire life. But if you watch the thoughts and realize you're not them, it completely changes your life. And my anxiety and Kyle's anxiety is starting to go down because of this book.
So the mind, like another concept that Tolle talks about, I don't know if he exactly uses this example, but he talks about other organs in our body. The mind is an organ and its job is to produce thought. Our hearts pump blood and beat, but every beat of our heart we're not attached to and we're not worried about each beat.
Is it going to beat again? What did that beat mean? That beat was a little faster than this one. I wonder if it's going to beat again after the next 10 beats.
So why do we do that with another organ, our mind, that has thousands and thousands of thoughts a day?
Exactly. Like, that's such a good point. No, you don't worry about any of that stuff, but for some reason you get in your head and you're worried about the past and you're worried about the future, and you realize like the future doesn't even exist. You're thinking about things that aren't even here yet. I used to be a complete over planner and I would plan and plan. I'd even like, for example, I get so anxious before we film a video that I plan the entire thing out, because I'm living in the future. Then I come into the video and I say nothing of what I planned because this is not the past, this is not the future, this is the now.
We kind of let the moment tell us where the video wants to go.
But to appease my anxiety, I will say the entire video in my head and then come on camera and, well, that was the future. Now it's the past and I'm in a new moment. So there's no point.
Yeah, if you guys are ever anxious, go, like Eckhart Tolle has a YouTube channel and it's great. We watch it all the time.
Yeah.
If you're ever feeling stressed or like anxious or worried, put on any one of this rock star guy's videos. Just his presence in the video will calm you down.
He is so calm. And you can feel actually his presence through the screen. And he literally like will just blink and just like breathe like this. And he captures your attention immediately. I'm gonna read something from here and then move on to the second book. So this is something that I highlighted when I first started reading the book. It's at the very beginning in the second chapter called You Are Not Your Mind. And this just really helped me kind of understand the whole process of the book. Many people live with a tormentor in their head that continuously attacks them and drains them of vital energy. It is the cause of untold misery and unhappiness as well as of disease. The good news is that you can free yourself from your mind. That is the only true liberation. You can take the first step right now. Start listening to the voice in your head as often as you can. Pay particular attention to any repetitive thought patterns, those old gramophone records that have been playing in your head perhaps for many years. This is what I mean by watching the thinker. So he's talking about watching your mind, watching your thoughts, which is another way of saying listen to the voice in your head. Be there as the witnessing presence. So be you and watch what your head does. And the more you do that, the more you will be in the moment instead of past and future. So I highly recommend, like Kyle said, check him out on YouTube. Get the book if you want. He's also on Instagram. He's always posting really helpful videos on YouTube and really helpful stuff on Instagram. The second book, these kind of they cover similar things. So this one is called Letting Go by David Hawkins. This one also talks about you not being your thoughts. It basically gives you a very simple method to let go of the thoughts in your head. And basically David Hawkins explains in the book that your thoughts, they're really just thoughts. They're not important. What's underneath the thought is emotion. The emotions are the important thing. They're the things that you've been holding on to and focusing on, and that's what keeps you stuck in your head. So for myself, if I'm focusing on planning a whole YouTube video, like I told you, it's not actually the anxiety about that. The underlying emotion is that I'm a people pleaser and I want you guys to like the video. I don't want to mess up. Kyle edits these videos. I get anxiety. Well, what if I say the wrong thing and he has to spend hours editing me because I messed up? So the underneath the thoughts of anxiety, the what if I messed up, the what if I don't do it right, what if you don't like the video, is actually my need for validation. And the Letting Go book teaches you how to work on that, let it go, so that you can give yourself the validation instead of needing it from other people.
Yeah, we often as humans, we chase these things like a fancy new car when it's not the actual car. Or like Nicole is saying, she doesn't have anxiety, we figured out from the book Letting Go. She doesn't have anxiety about filming videos. She has anxiety about being accepted by you guys.
Exactly. And then I realized it goes even further than that. And basically, you end up looking at your past and how you grew up and what you learned as you were growing up. And you realize a lot of the thoughts in your head are suppressed and repressed emotions from what you were taught and believed and bought into as you were growing up.
Yeah, and to go back, the fancy car is not what you're after. You're after the social proof and the acceptance and the glamour and the
approval of other people, basically.
Yeah.
And he does go through and he'll say, for example, say you want to be successful and you want a lot of money. Most people think it's the money, like Kyle was saying. In reality, it's the glamour you've attached to the money, thinking if you can just be rich, get whatever amount of money you're thinking of, people will love you. You'll be perfect in your career. Life will be perfect. It's what you've attached to the idea of having money that's actually what's holding you back. It goes through like he actually goes through a scale of emotions that he's developed.
Yeah, we get to pop up the consciousness scale like Dowdy. This is the real reason we wanted to do this whole video, so that we could pop up the scale of consciousness like Aaron Dowdy does in all his videos.
In all his videos. So this scale goes from very low vibration, like negative emotions, all the way up to the top where it's like super high vibration emotions like love and stuff.
And this is basically, this scale is going to show you like what's most in your head during the course of a day. Like what feelings and emotions do you mostly have within you in the course of a day?
So when people are stuck in their heads, like I said before, David Hawkins says really it's underlying emotions. So this scale basically covers all the emotions that are underneath the thoughts. So it starts with shame at the very bottom, then guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, and anger. And those are like the lower level emotions. Most people are stuck in the shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire. Most people are stuck there. And Kyle and I were stuck there for a very long time. Now we're starting to go in the higher vibration ones, but we still get stuck in the low ones sometimes.
So for example, a lot of people nowadays are recognizing that the news, all they give you is information that makes you angry.
And it keeps you stuck.
It keeps you stuck. So that is the glass ceiling. The news will never report anything above anger. If you look at this scale, all mainstream media news, the glass ceiling of anything they report will be in anger vibration, because it's meant to keep you angry and stuck there. And people resonate with it and they go like, why do I watch stuff that makes me angry? And we tell them, well, you're residing in the lower scales. You're in guilt, shame, fear. Anger is actually a step up for you. So the news knows that it's got you. It makes you feel like a false positive, like you're getting somewhere when you're angry.
Exactly.
But it's a trap.
It's a trap. If you don't feel it and let it go, then you can be stuck there. But if you can let it go, then you can rise into the other. There's pride, and then pride is like the last sort of, anything under 200 is like the lower level. Then you get to courage, which is 200, and then it starts rising into the higher vibration. Then you get to neutrality, where you're okay with anything either way. You don't really label anything good or bad. You realize there's a purpose for everything. Willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, and then the very top, which is peace. And that's kind of like, then as you get higher, you like enlighten, basically.
Basically like me, like I'm just a floating ball of light all day.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. So this might be a lot to take in, but as you read the book, like it's very easy to understand. And I'll read
And if you guys like this woo-woo stuff that we're into, we were kind of scared to share this with you guys for a long time because we're like, wow, it's not really about weight loss, but it actually is very connected to weight loss. Yeah. And if you guys like this stuff, leave a comment below and we'll do more woo-woo stuff.
It really is, because we didn't even know that we were kind of working through this stuff when we weren't using food anymore to deal with our anxiety. We were working through trauma and stuff that we had kind of like pushed down or repressed, that we didn't deal with, that we had from childhood and things like that. So we were already sort of doing that, and you guys probably are too. And then we started reading this and we're like, it is connected. Because this is what's helping us not use food to cope anymore, which helped us eat what we like and lose the weight.
Yeah, we actually had to let go of the underlying emotions, not about the food, not being obsessed about the calories or the portions anymore. It's letting go of the underlying emotions.
And there's two things. There is actually one about like how people use like diets and health and stuff. I want to read a little bit about that's in the book. But first, I'll just read quickly. It kind of explains what the letting go mechanism technique is. So it says, what is it? Letting go is like the sudden cessation of an inner pressure or the dropping of a weight. It is accompanied by a sudden feeling of relief and lightness with an increased happiness and freedom. It is an actual mechanism of the mind, and everyone has experienced it on occasion. A good example is the following. You are in the midst of an intense argument. You are angry and upset when suddenly the whole thing strikes you as absurd and ridiculous. You start to laugh. The pressure is relieved. You come up from anger, fear, and feeling attacked to suddenly feeling free and happy. Think of how great it would be if you could do that all the time, in any place, at any event. You could always be free and happy, never feel cornered by your feelings again. That's what that technique is about. Letting go consciously and frequently at will. You are then in charge of how you feel, and you're no longer at the mercy of the world and your reactions to it. So that's just a little explanation. And then this, literally, like we were reading the other day, and I just said, okay, let's just open the book, and wherever we're supposed to read it, we're going to open up to that page. And I opened up to this, and I thought this would be really helpful for other people as well. The average person is preoccupied with the body, its functioning, performance, appearance, and survival. The average mind is beleaguered with worries, fears, sickness, fears of sickness, suffering, disease. Therefore, the mind sets about defending the body in a great variety of ways. This leads to over-attention to diet, weight, exercise, and the health of the environment. So then it basically just starts saying, like, people start getting fixated on like eating clean or on like gluten-free, or they start reading labels obsessively, or they start clinging to their health or certain diets in order to feel, they think that taking care of the body and taking on the body is who they are. And then it says basically like, as you let go of all these fears, you realize you are not the body and you're not the mind either. You're deeper than that. Your mind is experiencing and telling you what to experience with your body. So most people take on the identity, I am this body, this is me. And then you fixate on it. And Kyle and I did it for years. We were obsessed with looking better, losing weight, getting six packs and muscles. And now we realize like, this is not me.
All of our bodies on earth will dissolve at some point.
It's the who you are on the inside, your personality, I guess, like the love, the forgiveness, the peace, the calm and content person, presence. That's who you are, not your body, not your thoughts. It was really, really good, and it really helped me even more remember anytime I get stuck with like, oh gosh, what if I go like 2 calories over my deficit? Or what if I do 59 minutes of cardio instead of 60? Like, am I gonna get fat again? Then I remember, wait, this is not who you are. You are not your body. You don't need to obsess over this. I take care of myself. I'm happy. I don't need to attach to this body.
This is just a vehicle that we'll use for a short moment in time, and we do our best to take care of it.
And that's it. You do your best. You like what you eat in a deficit. It's cool. So the friends, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let us know, like Kyle said, down below, if you like these videos, if you like this, we will do more of them. We have 2 weight loss guides down below, exactly what we ate to lose the first and next 50 pounds. Exact meals, portions, family-friendly recipes, you name it, we got it in there. And watch these 2 videos and do this and this.
Whoa.
Yes. Have a lovely day. Peace. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up.